told anyone about it. I started this show to take a grounded approach to the paranormal, help people tell their stories in their own words, and encourage more people to come forward with their own. Listen to Otherworld now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome to the show. We are indeed in downtown St. Louis. What a gorgeous day. I mean, really, what an absolutely picture-perfect day. Where are you today enjoying the show? Are you driving around town with those windows down? That beautiful weather is just coming into the car along with the show. Are you heading to a ball game? Are you heading to a picnic? Maybe the Ascension Charity Classic? Wherever you are, this is a good day to be in St. Louis. I'll tell you that. It's NFL Week 1. Maybe you're heading to the bar to go see your favorite team. I think people are forgetting about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let me start there. I think there are a lot. Everyone's buzzing about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and the Chiefs who lost on Thursday. People love to talk about the Chiefs, but they lost. And they're not as good without some of their best pieces. And now people are starting to question who are the Detroit Lions and can they be a factor? And everyone continues to buzz about all these. It's NFL Week 1, so it's exciting. All the great teams. I think people have forgotten about the Steelers a little bit, just being honest. That's a team to watch for sure. There is so much to get into today. College football, Cardinal baseball. We've got golf, as I mentioned, in town. Coco Gauff won the U.S. Open. Soccer all over the place. The men's national team was here last night. Cities in Los Angeles. There's a lot happening. And for those of you watching on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and everywhere else that we're available, the guy over my left shoulder right here is Andrew Price. We talk about him often. He is KMOX's number one listener. Andrew is here on behalf of not only his great family and his dad, Dave, but UCP, United Cerebral Palsy. They are putting on a monster event on Tuesday at the Factory. Last year was a huge success. Wingding, and Kevin Litt of UCP is going to be with us to tell you how you can sample some of the best wings in the area and be part of a contest that is going to determine the best. I went to this party last year. I ate a lot of wings. I mean, a lot of wings. I also drank a few beers. That'll be a really good time on Tuesday, and we'll tell you more about that event. Let's tell you about what's happening in sports. There is a ton going on in sports, and let's start with the St. Louis Cardinals. Ollie Marmol is going to be with us in 7 minutes on KMOX, and he's going to be happy because his catcher did this.
Into center field and backing up and looking up, and it's gone. That ball carried over the center field wall. A 2-out home run again for Wilson Contreras. And the Cardinals have just tied this game at 3. Contreras with home run number 19 scores he and Arenado, and the Cardinals indeed had a response to the bottom of the second.
Yes, indeed. Wilson Contreras is the hottest hitting catcher in baseball right now. He blasts that one, and the Cardinals are in business. They tie the ball game at 3, and then Newt in the 4th.
Nootbaar with a chance, and a 3-1 count on him, and the pitch is hit into left field, and backing up and looking up and not making the play is Senzel. It's off the wall. Lars Nootbaar with a double to left. And you hear the Nootbaar cheers as he has given the Cardinals the lead 4-3 here in the 4th inning.
That's the indicator that Cardinals fans are everywhere when they say Newt, and Newt delivers, gives the Cardinals a 4-3 lead in the 4th. And guess what? That was the final score of the ball game. That's because the Cardinals bullpen was absolutely terrific. Zach Thompson pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. That's what you want out of Zach and these starters at this point. That's all you really can ask for, is that they can give you a chance. The Cardinals are shorthanded in that area. They go in and face a team that's fighting for a playoff spot, and they beat them with a good bullpen yesterday. The Cardinals bullpen was actually great. Lawrence, King, Gallegos, and Helsley. Not a lot of people know about Casey Lawrence, but he pitched a scoreless frame and struck out one. And then King, the lefty, who the Cardinals picked up from Texas, pitched a scoreless frame. Then Gallegos holds the game for Helsley, who gets his 8th save. Helsley's been hurt. Cardinals win the ball game. Final score 4-3. I know. I mean, the Cardinals have not been good, and none of these games are going to matter in the end in terms of standings, but they do matter to these players because we are watching closely the future of the team. Contreras is a big part of it. He's going to be a big contributor. He's under contract for quite a while. He right now has 19 home runs and 64 RBIs. You'd love to see him get that 20th home run, get some confidence under himself for next year. Nolan Gorman was 2 for 4 yesterday. Tommy Edman, 3 for 4. I'm going to say right now, he was at second base yesterday. By the way, here's a play.
The pitch on the way. A swing and a line drive. Diving catch. Tommy Edman takes a hit away from Martini.
Wherever he plays, he's great. But I'm going to make a prediction that your starting center fielder next year will be Tommy Edman. I think that Gorman is your second baseman. I think Donovan obviously can play second base, but he's a hybrid. He can play pretty much anything for you, a Swiss Army knife type player. I need to see Gorman all the time, and I'm putting Edman in center unless somebody proves me wrong. Do the Cardinals have a better center fielder than Tommy Edman? I don't think they do. So this is a development right now. It's 2024 mode is what we should all be in right now watching this club. John Mozeliak's going to be with us next hour. Ollie Marmol in just a few minutes. He admitted to me last week on the show. I mean, he's evaluating the players. It's an important time for those players to see what they have for next season while he wants to win ball games. What Mo said is sometimes you're going to see players that maybe don't give us a lineup that gives us the best chance to win, but we're looking for players with an opportunity to be better for 2024. It's a really important time for the club from that standpoint. Yeah, they're spoiling the Reds. I know I mentioned that, but that's not really the aim here. The aim here is to be at their very best when this season comes to an end and go into 2024 flying, give the fans some hope, and, of course, go out and get outstanding pitchers this offseason. There's a lot for the Cardinals to accomplish in the offseason, but we'll get there when we get there. Meanwhile, Mizzou wins yesterday, but did not look good. They beat Middle Tennessee State by a final of 23-19. They are 2-0, but they got some work to do. Mizzou will play K-State on Saturday, and if they're not ready for K-State, they're going to get their butts handed to them. K-State's good. They stuck it to them last year. K-State's ranked 15th in the country for a reason. They routed Troy yesterday 42-13. And if you think Troy's a pushover, think again. They've been good for a while. This game, let's just give you an idea. They were a 2-touchdown favorite, K-State was, at home against Troy. So this wasn't like somebody that they should have beaten by 30, but they did. By a final of 42-13, K-State looks very good, and they're coming into Columbia on Saturday ready to knock down the Tigers. So Mizzou better be ready for that. And if they can get by it, they've got a great opportunity to win over their St. Louis alumni on Saturday the 23rd against Memphis at the Dome. Again, get there when we get there. We'll talk about it a little later this hour on KMOX. The Ascension Charity Classic, Dan Reardon will be with us at 10:30 to discuss. Y.E. Yang leading the pack right now at the Ascension, but he's not the only one. He's a big name, of course, but he's setting up for a really nice day paired with Kevin Sutherland and Ken Duke. Sutherland's tied with him. Duke is a shot back heading into play in the final round at Norwood Hills Country Club. Coco Gauff winning the U.S. Open. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about that, but we need to take a quick break, and we'll talk about all of it on the show today. But in about a minute, we're going to be joined by the manager of the Cardinals, Ollie Marmol. He sent me a text that he's ready to go, and we're going to go to him in Cincinnati right after this on KMOX.
Luke Combs here, and I have an exclusive opportunity for you to win $500,000 with the Living Lucky with Luke Combs Lottery Experience. Join me in Nashville for a private concert at the iconic Ryman Auditorium. One lucky winner will win $500,000 at the end of the show. Y'all feeling lucky? Enter today.
Enter your Living Lucky with Luke Combs scratchers tickets at molottery.com for a chance to win a private concert experience and a chance at $500,000. Play it forward with the Missouri Lottery and play responsibly.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman. It's always great to work with Spring Green, no matter the season. And this fall, aerating and overseeding your lawn is the best time to thicken up the yard. Take care of some of those trouble spots by reaching out to Spring Green, spring-green.com. Top dressing your lawn with compost is the single best best thing you can do to your lawn every year. Shrub pruning, cutting back your perennials from the fall, installing a retaining wall can help with curb appeal as well. Spring-green.com.
Here's something you won't hear from any other jeweler. Right now, when you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct, we'll give you a free gold setting for it. Yes, a 14-karat classic solitaire setting in white gold or yellow gold at no charge with any natural diamond purchase. So all your money can go toward a bigger diamond while you still get the classic look she wants in that engagement ring. Another example of Diamonds Direct's extraordinary value. Or if you want to take it up to the next level, Diamonds Direct also has a fantastic selection of halo, pave, vintage, 3-stone, and other popular mountings. Or maybe she wants a designer ring, like the one she's seen on social media. Well, Diamonds Direct has those too. In fact, we are an authorized retailer for all the top designers from New York and California. Whichever setting you choose, you'll also be able to choose your finance plan. Diamonds Direct now has a wide range of finance options with attractive rates and terms up to 60 months, so you can get the ideal setting to fit your style with the ideal payment to fit your budget. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Store hours, directions, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Welcome back to the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive.
He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is a very special guest, Andrew Price, UCP, United Cerebral Palsy, in the house with us. KMOX's #1 fan, the Wing Ding on Tuesday, the 12th at the Factory, the great wing contest, not eating contest, but tasting contest. Who has the best tasting wing? 3 different categories. It's going to be an outstanding day, Andrew. We look forward. I'm glad you're with us. We'll talk a little bit more about it. Right now, I have somebody for you, somebody that I know you know very well, and that's the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, Oliver Marmol, joining us live from Cincinnati. Good morning, Ollie.
How we doing?
Doing well. Andrew and I are sitting here marveling over the Cardinals bullpen. I mean, it was a really good performance backing up Zach Thompson. Cardinals get the win 4-3. I know we say it over and over, times are tough, et cetera. But look, when you're winning games against a rival team and seeing some of your better players give great performances, that has to make you feel really good heading into the final stretch.
Yeah, it does. And we've gotten good production out of a lot of guys, and some guys are stepping up. The last 2 days, our bullpen has really stepped up and thrown up some zeros. And it's been fun to watch. Seeing Libby go back-to-back and Helsley and some of these guys. I mean, yesterday the performance by that bullpen was phenomenal. Yeah, it really was. A great start. Casey Lawrence, comes in. I know that all of us were kind of doing scrambling research when he first jumped in to kind of figure out who he was. I just love this pitcher just coming in and saying, give me the ball and let me throw some strikes and see if I can eat some innings for you. He pitched a scoreless frame for you yesterday in a tough situation. No, he did a really nice job. And this is a guy who knows who he is. He's going to make you earn it. He's going to pound the zone, and he's going to mostly be on the ground. But, he did a really nice job going in there yesterday and having a quick inning through 14 pitches. Came in the day before, was pretty efficient with 12. So he's done a nice job for us for sure. And John King comes in, pitches a scoreless frame. So does Giovanni Gallegos, which is always great to see. And then Ryan Helsley, he gets the save for you. Helsley, as we know, has dealt with a lot of injury. He's had a lot of recovery time, just trying to get himself back on the mound. And he's throwing pitches 102 yesterday. I mean, that last one actually was 102, blazing to finish it off. Feeling good. He's feeling really good, and he threw 11 pitches the day before, so he was fairly efficient. He came in the next day and said that he felt great and wanted the baseball if we had a lead, and we had a lead, and we threw him in there, and he did a really nice job. That's good to see, and the Cardinals get the win. There's so much to touch on. Let's go back to the starter, Zach Thompson, who I have seen now 4 starts go 3-0. I mean, he's got to go into, or the Cardinals are 3-0 in his last 4 starts, I should say. He has been really great. He has. And the biggest difference for him, Tom, is he's pounding the zone more often than he was in AAA. His stuff plays, and when he's landing the curveball, he has a chance. He's mixing in that slider cutter a lot more, and he's leaned on that, and that's been a good pitch for him. But as the game went on yesterday, he started to make better pitches with 2 strikes, not missing over the middle, and was able to get some punch outs. But Zach, he's really done a nice job with the opportunities he's been given.
If you said that Wilson Contreras was the hottest hitter among catchers in baseball, you would not be wrong. He has done just that. He hit another home run yesterday. That's 19 for him. It comes at a big moment. And what are you seeing out of your catcher right now?
He looks comfortable. He's settling in. Even he said it. I mean, when you think about Goldie and Arenado, when they first got here, they said it took them a while to just kind of settle in and make this place feel like home. And once they do, then they start doing what we're used to seeing them do. And Wilson's no different. It's taken him a while to settle in, but he's not living and dying off of every at bat. I feel like the first half he was really trying to impress and show that he's here to help. And now we're just seeing the normal Wilson. He's just taking his at bats, and his last 2 homers were scorched. I mean, the one in the upper deck was incredible, and then that line drive at center field yesterday. Not sure how hard that was, but he's taken some really powerful swings.
Yeah, that is really special to see him get the confidence at the plate, because we know we saw it for years that he could have a ferocious bat. It's the one thing that he came in with that Yadi did not have anymore. He didn't have much power. He could still get a big hit for you, no doubt about it, but Wilson was the addition in terms of an upgrade in offense. And this is not, when I say this, this is not a knock on Wilson Contreras. I hope everyone understands this. And it's not a knock on Andrew Kisner or anybody else. But is it fair to say that we all, everybody, underestimated, even those of us who are as close as possible to this team, how impactful Yadier Molina was on this organization? Just the many layers, some of which we do not see.
Yeah, there's the obvious that everyone pays attention to, just his ability to control a game. But I mean, there's so many underlying things that take place behind the scenes that you definitely you got to credit Yadi for. He did an amazing job in the familiarity of knowing his staff, and it's something that just takes time. But this is a guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer for a reason. I mean, he's one of the best to ever do it. So yes, seeing Wilson not try to do more than he needs to and settling in is a good thing, because now we're getting the best version of him. So that part is real. Ollie Marmol with us on KMOX live from Cincinnati. Cardinals and Reds today at 12:40. So we really appreciate this before you get back out there. I said this earlier in the show, so I'm going to make a prediction, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. My prediction is that Tommy Edman will be the starting center fielder for the Cardinals next year. And again, I'm not being critical of outfielders, because you got some great outfielders, but he is, and he played second base yesterday, I know, but he can do just about anything. He is an excellent center fielder, just excellent. He is. When you look at our defense, it's settling in because guys are playing where they need to be playing. Guys are healthy, and that's a big part of it. But specifically with Edman, you have a guy that you put him in center field, and he's one of the top outfielders in the league. I think he can win a Gold Glove out there if you throw him out there every day. You put him at second base, he'll win a Gold Glove there. Played him at short the other day, made some really nice plays. So this is a guy, no matter where you put him, he's one of the best defenders in the league. And it'll be interesting going into the offseason and figuring out where all the pieces fall and kind of what makes the most sense. But there is a possibility of that. And if that were the case, we have a really, really good one on our hands. Did you get a chance, speaking of center fielders, to catch up with Harrison Bader, part of the Reds now? No, I'm trying to do that before this day game, actually. Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'd love to hear how that goes, as he was a big part of what you did for sure. And I know the two of you had a great talk when he was sent on to the Yankees, and now here he is back. This is it is part of the game, isn't it? Where players, as much as you want to keep a group together, players change uniforms. It just happens. Yeah, it's part of it. And at times you obviously don't want to see it happen, but it's part of the game, and you wish them the best, and you want them to have success wherever they're at, except for when you play them. But Harrison's a good dude. He played hard for us, obviously a fan favorite and a guy that brought a ton of energy, but had a good relationship with him, enjoyed the time that he was here, and I hope that he continues to have a strong career.
Ollie Marmol with us on KMOX. Miles Michaelis, the starting pitcher today. Last I talked to you was Wednesday as we were getting ready to see what you would do that second day, and you beat the Braves up again. I mean, it was just, I should bring up the fact we can't have a conversation with you without asking you how your team looked against the Atlanta Braves. I mean, who could stand up and say that they saw that coming?
Yeah, these guys, and we've talked a little bit about it. It is what it is where we're at in the standings, but you got to credit this group for playing as hard as they're playing right now, regardless of where we are. I mean, you got your big guys wanting to be in there every day. You got guys playing the game extremely hard. The attention to detail has been awesome. They're running the bases very well. They're playing really good defense. So the style of play right now is what it needs to be. And I credit our group a ton for just the attention to detail and the enthusiasm behind their style of play right now. It's been really good. Going up against the Braves, that was a really good series. That's a playoff team. Be quite honest, is the best team we've faced in a long time. And they're very well put together. And for our group to go out there and do what they did in that 3-game set, and then here in Cincy, they're continuing to swing the bats really well, and our pitchers are doing their job. So it's been a good road trip so far. We want to take this one and then head over to Baltimore.
Yeah, one more thing for you, and that is the Baltimore Orioles. I know you're concentrating on the Reds right now, but for the benefit of our audience, what do you think of the Orioles and what they've done? I mean, they're going to get a little taste of October, some of those guys, for the first time, but, man, have they had a year.
They really have. They got some young guys. They got some talent, and obviously they've built well over the last several years to get into this position. And now they're here. And it'll be good to go over there and have that 3-game series against them and see it live. But it's a good young group that has worked hard in order to get to where they're at today. But it'll be a fun one for sure.
You will have Drew Rom pitching against them, so I wonder. That is right? You're still going to throw him against the Orioles?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah, I wonder how he'll be ready for that against his former team. That's just one of those things. I'm always curious how they look. You won't see Jack, though, is what I understand.
That's what I have understood as well.
Yeah, but Adam Wainwright is going to start in Baltimore, and just I guess this would be a final thing. Just your feelings on watching the last Wainwright start and trying to get him those last 2.
Yeah, it's our goal. It's his goal. It hasn't come easy, and that's an obvious thing. But we're continuing to work at it. I thought he did a nice job navigating that lineup through 5 innings. That's a tough lineup with the Braves, and he's at 90 pitches. We're down a run, threw him back out there to see if he can get 3 more outs and let our offense take the lead in the top half. And unfortunately, a couple homers chased him, but he will get the start in that next series.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it. We covered a lot of ground there in short time, but it's very kind of you, as always, to be on Sunday mornings with us on KMOX.
No, you got it, Tom.
Thank you. Oliver Marmol with us on KMOX. Andrew Price letting us know that the Cardinals are hot. It's nice to say, isn't it, Andrew? That the Cardinals are hot. Tell you what else is hot. The wings that you guys fed me a couple days ago for the Wing Ding. Kevin Litt is here with UCP. And if I may, Drew, light up Kevin for just a moment before we take a break and go to Dan Reardon at the Ascension Charity Classic. Kevin, we've got a big event coming to the factory on Tuesday the 12th. Are those where were those from? Were those from the Midwestern?
No, those wings were from Rock and Brews.
Rock and Brews,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. They've been a long time participant in the Wing Ding, and they were so excited to be able to bring some wings into you guys and see if they could make you sweat a little.
Yeah, check out Y98. I think we'll have that video tomorrow where I showed them what's up. We don't mess around over here at KMOX. If there's anything I've done in my life, it is sit around and eat wings and drink beer. So you don't have to worry about me. The hottest wings are not going to bother me. But you'll have all kinds of flavors and all kinds of restaurants. Midwestern, are they part of it?
They are not part of it this year, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, we only had room for 13 restaurants. We actually had 6 on the list if anyone drops out, and Midwestern is there. But we only had room for 13.
So it's gotten that big that you have restaurants trying to push their way into this.
Correct.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Who else do you have on? So again, this is Tuesday night at the factory. I'll be there. There'll be all kinds of celebrity judges. It'll be fun. But the story's the wings. That's what people are there to eat the wings.
We've got some great restaurants participating. We've got Joey B's, Felix's, Duke's. Both Felix's and Duke's took away a lot of hardware last year.
Duke's is in Wentzville.
Yep.
Felix is in Dogtown.
We got Cyberg's, Stackhouse, Rock and Brews, Naven's Barbecue, which is new this year. We went out and tested them out. They're really good. They're off of South Grand. Lester's, whole bunch. Yeah,
Lester's good. What's it like testing wings? I mean, what a gig.
I know it's tough, but someone's got to do it, right?
UCP. Tell me, or tell our audience. I know full well with Andrew over my left shoulder here what UCP is all about, but UCP Heartland is where a lot of this money is going.
All this money goes. Yeah. UCP Heartland. We're a nonprofit organization. We help children and adults with disabilities live as independent a life as possible. Andrew is one of our clients, and he's also a close personal friend with me as well as with you. And the money goes to help support the 8 different programs we have. We support Andrew specifically in our adult day program. We have a program to help adults with disabilities live independently on their own out in the community. We have a program to help individuals with disabilities find competitive work. They're not working in a workshop. They're out in the community working a job that they're interested in. And then as well, we started a brand new autism services program here in the city of St. Louis that specifically helps children from low-income families, children who don't necessarily have insurance and wouldn't be able to get therapeutic services for autism. We provide those services. They don't have to have insurance. They can use Medicare or First Steps. And we're the only place in the city for that.
Well, I know you have a place where people can go get more information about you and about the Wingding. You still have some space for people to buy tickets, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Our VIP tickets are almost out. Those are $90. So if that's something you're interested in, you get all you can drink with the wings. Our standard ticket, our general admission ticket, is $30. Very affordable, though they do go up $10 night of. So they will be $40 if you come at the door. But yeah, go to ucpheartland.org/wingding. And you can pick up your tickets there and learn all about the great work that we do.
You do great work, and the factory is a great venue in Chesterfield Valley.
Yeah, we love
it. Michael Steinberg has done an incredible job with that building and surrounding buildings, and we're going to have some fun in there. Again, that's Tuesday night, $30. That is a great price that you're giving back, and you're just eating unlimited wings.
Unlimited wings for $30. I mean, you can't get that anywhere, right?
I ate 26 wings. I overdid it. I overdid it. I'm not going 26 this time, but I may have a couple of beers.
Well, people could eat over 35 wings this year if they try all of them. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So again, the Wingding to benefit UCP Heartland is Tuesday, September 12th, this coming Tuesday night at the factory. Looking forward to it. Andrew Price asked me if we would be on Facebook today. How about Facebook and Twitter? Live stream right here for KMOX, and we're in other social media channels right now. But if you want to see Andrew, who I've talked about for years, he's with me on camera right now. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX. Kevin Litt has been with us from UCP. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Wingding is going to be great. They're going to hang out for a little bit, I know, and we are hanging out with you. Dan Reardon's at the Ascension Charity Classic, Norwood Hills Country Club. Beautiful day for that. Joins us next.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
This is Nick Chouquette. I lost a lot of money on a failed landscaping business and had to move in with my dad. After attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I went from having no job to $1 million in revenue on Amazon just 2 years later.
Hi, it's Emric Manello. When I first immigrated to the United States, I had no idea how I was going to earn a living. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar, and my first year on Amazon, I did over $700,000 in sales.
My name is Jeremiah Holbrook. I've sold over $10 million on Amazon thanks to what I learned from the Wholesale Formula.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. That's right. Discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Fall is here. Baseball, beautiful weather, and the changing colors of trees and shrubs. When you think of your trees, call family-owned Gamma Tree Experts. Fall is a great time to prune and fertilize your valuable trees. Our staff of certified arborists will survey your trees to determine their needs. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Call Gamma Tree Experts at 314-725-6159 or visit us at gammatree.com. Your trees deserve the best care.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you use a rideshare service, you're putting your life in the hands of a stranger to get you safely where you need to go. But sometimes tragedies occur. And when they do, big companies like Uber and Lyft are often impossible to deal with on your own. We know how to hold these companies accountable. When you've been involved in a car crash or been a victim of assault, we're here to protect you.
Onder Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If you or someone you love don't seem to be hearing that well anymore, make an appointment today with Dr. Colleen Bosler at one of her 3 St. Louis area audiology center locations, Creve Coeur, St. Peter's, and Florissant.
Have you ever felt like sitting back or giving up at a family gathering because you're tired of working so hard to hear? Have you ever avoided going to an event because you know you won't be able to hear well? At the Audiology Center, we like to take a look at each person's personal needs. We want to get them exactly what they need to hear their best in all environments. Whether it's the television, noisy restaurants, family gatherings, or even just at home one-on-one with your spouse. We encourage you to make an appointment today so we can show you everything.
Thanks, doctor. You can make that appointment today by calling 636-441-7470 or online, theaudiologycenterstl.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
My name is Andrew. I go to United Cerebral Palsy Heartland. Are you ready for the winging? Please get your tickets if you can. Thank you.
Andrew, great job. Wrote that and played that himself right out that M3, man. That chair's got it all. It has all the iPads and phones and gadgets. You got it all, man. Great job. Can't wait for that event coming up on the 12th on Tuesday night at the factory. Thanks for joining us here today and joining us from Norwood Hills Country Club at another great event, the Ascension Charity Classic, is Dan Reardon, our KMOX golf editor. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Tom.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Tom. You know, it's been great weather for people to watch golf, and it's even better weather to play golf. So it's a little hard to miss this weekend and spend it watching other people play golf.
I totally get that. So who's playing the best golf? Let's skip the leaders for a minute and focus on Colin Montgomery. First time on the Champions Tour that he registered an ace, a hole-in-one for Colin. Monty gets one on the 12th hole yesterday.
Yeah, and I don't know what's more unusual, the fact that he had the ace, or that by his account there was a total of one person on the 12th hole that saw it go in the hole. He was a little disappointed because he said it went in and there was no noise and they moved on.
Yeah, that's oh, man. What have the crowds been like over there?
You know, it's really hard to get a read on this tournament because they build so much seating out on the golf course. I thought that yesterday for the Celebrity Challenge, the numbers were down a little bit, but I know the management has spoken very positively about their turnout. So as I said, if you try to measure this against, let's say, when the seniors were here at Boone Valley, or even the LPGA was here at Forest Hills and Fox Run, there was not nearly the seating out on the golf course. So if your judgment of the galleries is based on the walking contingent, I think that was not a huge number that you were seeing yesterday. But I don't know that means the galleries are down. I will say I ran into two guys that I have from time to time connected with to play golf with at Forest Park. And one of them was there with four little girls. And they said, this is great. They said, we can walk right up to the ropes and we can see everybody we want. And the four little girls, and the oldest was maybe 7 years of age, the four little girls weren't being blocked by spectators, and they were having a great time. So it's a trade-off. But as I said, I'll leave it up to the management to put out the final numbers on the turnout.
Oh, that's outstanding, though, to hear the access that people have and the ability to see some of the best players that have ever played. That's the attraction of the PGA Tour Champions. As a whole, is the Champions still going strong?
This event in general?
Yeah, just in general, the entire tour.
Oh, I think so. I think that I think the big challenge or the big question, I guess, facing the tour will be in the next couple of years when the European players, and they have some quality names like Lee Westwood and Ian Poulter and Sergio Garcia, when they become 50 years of age, will the PGA Tour accommodate them because they are members? They fled to the LIV Tour. Will they accommodate them? If they come into the field, I'm telling you, you could make money off of Ian Poulter in any year. Sergio will draw galleries that will like him and dislike him. And you also have right now in Steve Stricker, a guy that's putting up a Hale Irwin kind of year where he just has dominated this tour. Padraig Harrington is not here this week because of the Irish Open, but he's still viable on the regular tour, so he's dangerous on this tour. So no, I think the champions are in pretty healthy shape, and I think they've got that good possibility. I hope that the LIV players are allowed to compete on this tour because I think it will be good for the game.
Dan, your leaders today, they'll be going off around 1 o'clock, and that is Y.E. Yang, Kevin Sutherland, Ken Duke. That is your final threesome of the day. Anybody else could sneak in there because it looks pretty tight. Quigley and Flesch are both 10 under, 2 shots back.
Well, a couple of things I'll throw at you. You look at to see who's the hot golfer, not just of late, but this year. And David Toms has a couple of wins, but that goes back to March. But he's comfortable on this golf course. He won here in 21, and he was ninth place going off. You could get, and the other thing I think you need to look at is we've had 6 rounds equaling the course record at 64. So yes, we have guys at 12 under, but how far back can you be? It's still challenge. And I suspect with the kind of weather conditions where it's cool overnight and there's a little moisture and dew in the morning, I suspect that 64 is not the best round possible on that golf course. So, you can go back quite a ways, I think, on this leaderboard and find somebody who's able to post early and make the rest of the field play against the number that they put up. So I think that the excitement on this tournament is the volatility, the possibility that we have on the final round. And one note in that regard, anecdotally, and I haven't looked up the numbers, but there have been a lot of players who struggled on 17 and 18 who were working on really good rounds and then came in with bogeys and double bogeys on the last 2 holes. So even if you have the lead with a couple to play, it's worth hanging around to see what that turnout's going to be because those 2 holes seem to have been the measure of difficulty in this championship.
Dan, if you're heading out to see John Daly, you will not. He withdrew with an injury after 9 holes yesterday, but we do have a great cause. And I guess the final thing for you is what this organization is doing for North County is very special and is the main focus of this tournament.
Yeah, Tom, I've covered tournaments and I've worked for tournaments in this area for a long time. And I will say I've never been around a group that is so believable in their commitment to charity. These guys are truly in this for the charitable aspect of this. It's really unusual because this tournament from Ascension is run by people from Ascension, which means the tournament sponsor is also the tournament management. That's not normal in the game of golf, but it is reflective of the fact, and I talked to Steve Spratt, who we heard from last week, and they say they're here because they want to create a charitable environment, and then those funds are distributed for North County. I think they're very believable and very sincere in what they say.
Good work out there at Norwood Hills. We appreciate it very much. The Ascension Charity Classic, Dan Reardon is there for KMOX. Thank you.
Enjoyed it.
We'll take a quick break. We're going to highlight the Mizzou-Memphis matchup in a couple of weeks at the Dome. Mizzou does have some work to do between now and then with K-State coming to town, but Mizzou fans are going to be able to see their team at the Dome. Chris Roseman of the St. Louis Sports Commission is going to be with us, and a very special surprise guest is checking in as well. We'll tell you who that is. Do not miss it. Next.
If you have a commercial or industrial flat roof and are in need of repairs, a coating, or a new roof, there's only one company to call. The Flat Roof Company, 314-995-2700. The Flat Roof Company, 314-995-2700.
Want to be a legendary player? It all begins at Horseshoe St. Louis Casino. Horseshoe offers all the thrills. Join the excitement on the casino floor. Tee off at the Topgolf Swing Suite. Catch the game at the Sports Bar. Or relax at the Four Seasons Spa. An unexpected oasis in the heart of downtown. In a quick walk from the ballpark. Horseshoe St. Louis, a Caesars Rewards destination. Legendary. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
The medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. It is great to be along with you. Big event coming to St. Louis on September 23rd. We don't have a game time yet. We've got to get that game time in for Mizzou and Memphis at the Dome. Mizzou to the Lou. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see the crowds coming out at the Dome. And joining us to talk more about it is from the St. Louis Sports Commission, Senior Vice President Chris Roseman. How are you, Chris?
John, we're doing great. How are you doing? It's always fun to follow one of my favorite people, Dan Reardon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great conversation.
All right. Well, we appreciate that. Mizzou and Memphis on September 23rd at the Dome. What's the excitement level for you and your crew at the Sports Commission?
Off the charts. It's it's been a long time in coming. It's been since 2010 since we've had Mizzou football in town, and we're just really looking forward to having them back. It's been 13 years, and we had such a great run back in the 2000s with Mizzou, Illinois, and all those great games and all those great experiences and memories. And we look forward to recreating that on September 23rd. And when you've got the fourth game of the season as opposed to the first game of the season, unfortunately, we got to wait a little bit, for that game time, and we expect to have that tomorrow. And once we do, we'll release that information.
St. Louis region has the largest Mizzou alumni base in the world, 71,243 local Tigers. You wouldn't be able to fit them all in the Dome if they all show up. So let's hopefully see if they can cram themselves in there to see Mizzou and Memphis. Chris, hang on the line for a moment. We have a mystery guest who has joined us, a very special guest. Mystery guest, if you could say hello.
Hey guys, this is your head football coach for the Missouri Tigers, Eli Drinkwitz. Just really excited to get to Mizzou to the Lou. Obviously we're 2-0 right now. Got a big game versus K-State, but I know everybody's excited about getting a chance to go play in that Dome where there's so many great memories of great football games in the past, and we look forward to joining in on that.
Coach, it's always great to hear your voice on KMOX. I know how present you are in St. Louis and how special this place is to you and your program, not to mention a great recruiting ground.
Yeah, obviously, some of our best players are from the area of St. Louis. I was just in there Friday night watching future Tigers, we hope. So it's a very important place. It's a special place. It's one of the premier sports cities in the entire world. And we're excited to be able to join in on that passion. I've said it many times, you can be a City St. Louis fan, you can be a Cardinals fan, a Blues fan, a Chiefs fan, but at the end of the day, we all need to be Mizzou fans, and we look forward to bringing our product to y'all city.
Chris, let me throw it back to you for a minute. And what is it like to hear that? And how important is Mizzou to the overall sports scene here in St. Louis?
Well, it's extremely important. Good morning, Coach. Glad to have you join us this morning. It's extremely important for St. Louis on so many fronts. You know, there's the ability to connect with Mizzou. We get every chance, when we connect with them during the basketball event that we have every December, and if it's great for Mizzou as far as attracting future students, future athletes, possible, sponsorship, or just connecting with the St. Louis community. It's a sports crazy community that always comes out for these great events, and as we've seen with the Olympic trials and the PGA Championship and things like that. And September 23rd will be no different when Coach Drink brings his team to town.
No question. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on: family activities, tailgate parties, entertainment at Ballpark Village, a battle of the bands. There's the National Blues Museum is going to be involved. There's a full schedule of events at MizzouToTheLou.com. Coach Drinkwitz, if you beat K-State, that's going to take it to another level. But I would assume that based on what you saw yesterday, I should say, you are going to be grinding this week and focused on improving.
Yeah, we're never going to pour cold water on a victory. There was a lot of things on that tape that were things that we got to get better at, and that's what practice is for. But ultimately, the result was a win, and a lot of good things that we did learn from. Proud of the way we found a way to win in a sloppy fourth quarter. So those are positives, but there's things on that tape that we got to get corrected, and we're going to do that this week. We're going to go to work, so, yep, excited about it.
How good is K-State, the 15th ranked team in the country, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, they're ranked 15th in the country for a reason. They're defending Big 12 champions. They've got experienced quarterback, 5 returning starters on the offensive line, experienced defense, and so it's going to be a tall task, but we got a secret weapon, and that's a sold-out Faurot Field, and that's always a challenging place for people to play in. And so thankful to the fans and for choosing to invest their money in our program on Saturday, and we look forward to being well prepared for that game.
That's an 11 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, Mizzou and K-State, and then Memphis the following Saturday. What is your feeling on the Memphis program? Or I guess a better question would be, how did this come together, Coach Drinkwitz, with assistance from the St. Louis Sports Commission, of course, but to get yourself a game at the Dome and against Memphis specifically?
Yeah, I think it was something that when I first took the job, I knew I wanted to get a game in St. Louis, and we kind of targeted this year because we had 8 home games. And so it was the ability to move one of these 8 games to St. Louis, and appreciate Desiree and working with the St. Louis Sports Commission to make it happen.
One last thing for you before we go, Coach, and that is that football is such a great sport to watch, but you have full knowledge of the fact that there is no NFL team in St. Louis. And the goal to get St. Louis to embrace, you don't have to be a Mizzou fan necessarily. I mean, Mizzou fans are great, but you're ready to take on all comers. I mean, some of the best programs in America are just the team. It doesn't matter if you're connected with the school at all. You're part of the state university's team.
Absolutely. I mean, when you, whatever it says on your license, driver's license, that says the state of Missouri, and we represent that state every time we put the jersey on the front. We know it's such a privilege and an honor to do that, and we don't take it lightly, and look forward to bringing our product to St. Louis. I appreciate you jumping in for a few minutes, Coach. Thank you so much for doing it. It was a last-minute call on my part, and you answered the bell as you always do. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you. We'll get the Cardinals back together for you. We'll get them improved so we can get you back to the ballpark soon. MIZ.
ZOU. There is Eli Drinkowitz with us on KMOX. Chris, just a few things left for you. I am excited about this game, but I wanted to have you sort of paint the picture, if you would, about what I described earlier, all of the activities downtown. But one of the great parts about the game is the anticipation, the tailgate, everything leading up to it. Again, not knowing the game time, but we will soon.
Yeah, as you know, I mean, college football is a lot about pageantry. And, you know, that night before, that afternoon before the evening of the game, or, the last night or yesterday I was at the game, at Mizzou on the campus of Columbia, and just the atmosphere all day long. With all the tailgate parties and all the lead up and all the energy and all the pep rallies and all the black and gold, it just surrounded that field, and that took over Columbia a lot, like I think it will do for the city of St. Louis on Friday and Saturday, September 22nd and 23rd. And the tailgates in Bear Plaza, we all have our memories of those great tailgates, and people will set up their hibachis in parking lots and all that thing. So it's going to be a great day. Tiger Walk, we're taking a lot of those elements that you see in Columbia and taking an hour and 40 minutes to the east. I'm going to put them right in St. Louis for a great day.
You have much more coming that weekend as well. Part of the Mizzou to the Lou series is Mizzou soccer playing Missouri State, and that is actually today at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. That's in Fenton. That's at 1 o'clock, right?
It's at 1 o'clock in Fenton, yeah, at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. And, St. Louis is America's first soccer capital. We take a lot of pride. It kind of goes out from St. Louis, and there's a lot of representation on both those teams from the city of St. Louis or from the St. Louis region. It's 1 o'clock kick. Missouri State takes on Mizzou. I think there's 15 players in those rosters collectively that are going to be out there taking the field today at 1 o'clock. The parking's free, the tickets are free, so come on out. We're calling a Girls Got Game, where we're going to have a lot of girls out there watching them, in addition to watching some great soccer, and we're really looking forward to it.
Tonight, the SLU women are taking on. They're going to be playing here pretty soon. They're going to be playing on the road at 24th ranked and undefeated Nebraska. That's actually this afternoon at 1 o'clock. That'll be streamed on Big Ten Network Plus. But it just shows you in our final 30 seconds here, Chris, how much is going on around here. I mean, you don't have to go too far to find something great happening in St. Louis.
You don't. I mean, this is the best time of the year. It's fall. You got fall soccer. You had Worldwide Technology Raceway a couple of weeks ago. You got golf this weekend. Last weekend was the Bronze Boot, where they had 8,000 people at City. It just goes on and on and on. It's a great soccer atmosphere. It's a great sports atmosphere in the fall, and just get out there and take full advantage of it.
We're going to have a lot of fun watching everything that unfolds. MizzouToTheLou.com for all the information of Mizzou and Memphis at the Dome on September 23rd. Much more information to come. Tickets are available. They range from $20 to $100. MizzouToTheLou.com. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Tom.
Chris Roseman, Senior Vice President, St. Louis Sports Commission, back with more after the news.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. No one should be injured or be the victim of assault when using a rideshare service. These companies need to be held accountable.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Teammates thought future Hall of Famer Jerry Kelly was nuts hanging up his glove to start a heating and air company, till they called...
Thanks for calling, Jerry Kelly, the right man for the job.
And reached 10-year-old Jill Kelly wearing jammies in the kitchen. Jerry knows talent, they'd say, and knows it don't mean nothing without love. From Jill to today's award-winning teams, Jerry knew talent multiplied by real love and hard work, that's a grand slam.
Thanks for calling, Jerry Kelly.
Kelly.com. The fast and the good. Is to our health. So why don't we do something about it? With Neovitin Men's 50 Plus, you can give your body sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your daily health. Formulated for men over 50, Neovitin Men's 50 Plus gives you B vitamins to support energy and our proprietary physician-formulated blend for daily support you won't find anywhere else. Do something about your health today with Neovitin Men's 50 Plus. Available at your local Schnucks and Deerbergs.
Broadcasting from the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studios.
KMOX.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan, president of McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, McKelvey Homes is celebrating 125 years with our inventory home sale. Get $12,500 off of all our market homes. Move in quick, lock in your interest rate, and get all the popular features and colors selected by design professionals. And for every home sold, McKelvey Homes will donate $1,898 to Dravet Syndrome Foundation. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a great month to get rid of all your aerosol sprays. When we each share a one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Tom Foti in Washington. President Biden's visiting a country with which the U.S. was at war for a decade, a half-century ago. But now Vietnam's among Asian nations somewhat at odds with the more assertive giant next door, China. Still, Mr. Biden says his visit to Vietnam is not about containing China.
We have an opportunity to strengthen alliances around the world to maintain stability. That's what this trip was all about.
By means of new economic cooperation with Vietnam. Speaking there, Mr. Biden also expressed sorrow and sympathy for Morocco after the recent 6-point earthquake there. It is now blamed for at least 2,100 deaths.
This is suffering, one resident says. To enter the ancient city and witness the collapsed homes and see people in great pain, it's a painful experience. Another resident whose house is still standing says he fears it's too damaged to be safe. I returned to my house and noticed many cracks in the walls, he says. I can't sleep there.
CBS's Haley Ott. Now, Mr. Biden and his re-election hopes at age 80.
53% of Americans think the job of president is too demanding for someone over the age of 75. And both Republicans and Democrats agree on this.
CBS News survey manager Fred Backus. Convicted killer Danilo Cavalcante still on the loose near Philadelphia, but apparently looking different. Clean-shaven, wearing a hooded sweatshirt, black baseball cap, and white shoes.
News of Cavalcante's sighting put residents like Bob Strait on edge.
Just making sure the doors are locked. Every time I leave, making sure the garage doors are closed, the cars are locked.
Officials say Cavalcante is believed to be driving a white Ford Transit van he stole from Bailey's Dairy. They say he shaved his face, but is still wearing his green prison pants.
KYW radio reporter Justin Udo. Hurricane Lee has weakened, but is still a strong Atlantic storm with potential problems along the U.S. East Coast, even if it never comes close to shore.
It is still going to cause a couple of problems for the United States that everybody needs to be aware of. Large waves and dangerous rip currents. And that's going to happen certainly as the week goes on and the storm gets closer. Could also see a little bit of coastal flooding depending where it comes.
CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson on the Health Watch 3 years after the height of the coronavirus pandemic.
If you're like a lot of people, you may have old COVID kits stashed away from earlier infectious days. But health officials say it's important to check to make sure they're not expired. If they are, you can't trust the results. Extreme heat can also affect outcomes. At-home tests also work best when you use them in an environment that's between about 59 and 86 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is CBS News correspondent Deborah Rodriguez, and this is CBS News.
You need to hire fast and hire right? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have sunny skies and 74 degrees downtown at the Gateway Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story, St. Charles leaders could give seniors a break on their taxes. A bill before the county council Monday night, St. Charles may adopt a property tax freeze for seniors. The county would become the first in the region to adopt a measure made possible by a new state law. Counties can freeze the rates on primary residences and create a tax credit to offset their property taxes. The Missouri law also ends state taxes on Social Security benefits starting next year. A United Auto Workers strike is still looming. Thursday's the deadline for a deal. Late this week, GM offered a 10% wage hike, but UAW wants 40%. That's to get back many of the concessions they made in 2008 and 2009. UAW President Shawn Fain.
These negotiations are serious and they matter. The outcome impacts all of us, every team member, and quite frankly, every stakeholder across the country.
United Auto Workers have never called a strike on all three automakers. Political ads using AI on Google and YouTube must soon be accompanied by a prominent disclosure. That's if imagery or sounds have been synthetically altered. The new rule starts in November, about a year before the U.S. presidential election. Some 24 campaigns are already using the technology. Another big day of events in the region. In downtown Clayton, the St. Louis Art Fair wraps up its 30th year. In Maplewood, the Schlafly Art Outside Festival features more than 60 artists again today. And Grand Center is host to day 2 of Music at the Intersection, Don't forget Grant's Farm. This weekend is the kickoff of Oktoberfest. Beautiful weather for all of it. High of 85 this afternoon. Overnight low 64. Possible shower late on Tuesday or Monday. High of 80 and then mid 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday. A great week in store. Right now it's 77 in St. Peter's, 75 in Florissant, 74 downtown at the Arch. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
Hey, Emric Manello. 2 years after attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was able to sell my Amazon business for over $400,000.
Hi, I'm Amy Sherla. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar to learn how to work from home while raising my son. Today, I do $175,000 in sales per month.
Hi, I'm Hillary. Before attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was a school teacher. Today, I work from home selling products on Amazon.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. That's right. Discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula Live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Now, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. Ollie Marmol was with us. So was Dan Reardon at the Ascension, and so was Eli Drinkowitz, the Mizzou coach. Those have been our guests so far, along with Chris Roseman, Senior Vice President of the St. Louis Sports Commission, all with us during the 10 o'clock hour. Go back to the Odyssey app, and we'll have it up soon, KMOX.com, our Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast. We have a lot going on, including Andrew Price. For those of you watching our live stream, you see Andrew in studio with us, representing UCP Heartland, and the Wing Ding coming up on Tuesday, September 12th. Starts at 5:30 at the Factory. The best wings in town will be competing for who has the best wing in town. And last year's event was so good, I can't imagine what this year's going to be like with all the people. And it was easy to get all the wings and beer and have a good time at the Factory. And of course, if you have too many beers, you are going to want to Uber home. Last year, I had too many wings. That was my problem. I actually was a judge for the second category, but I didn't realize that. So I sat down. They said, "Hey, we got an open spot. You're a judge." So I sat down. I judged the first 10 wings, Buffalo traditional style. They were great. And then they said, "Now for our judges of the dry rub category." And I was on that list. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then I'll sit down and I'll eat some more wings, I guess." And there were like 8, I think, in that group. So now I'm at 18 wings. And then the other judges and staff members said, "Well, you have to stay for the third one now. You can't back out now. You got to stay for the specialty category." So I ate 8 more wings. I ended up with 26 wings. I don't think I ate chicken for about a week. I couldn't look at a wing but it was, man, they were good. So good. Had a great time at the Wing Ding. So I hope that you do that as well. Andrew, I've given you something to work on now. I texted you all of the NFL matchups. Every week we go through these and you give me your picks. So I need those by noon. Okay. Can you give me those by noon? I need your picks of the NFL. Best games of the day. I said this earlier on Total Information AM here, NFL Week 1. I think the Browns-Bengals one is a big one, and that's because it's in Cleveland. Cincinnati is everybody's exciting team. I think a lot of people like them a lot, think they're going to be a contender again. This game's a pick 'em, though, and that's because they're playing in Cleveland. This is probably the best quarterback matchup. Well, today. Tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers against Josh Allen is the marquee matchup, Bills and Jets. But the Bengals at Deshaun Watson and the Browns, with Joe Burrow just signing the richest contract in history, that is an intriguing matchup that's coming up here on CBS at noon. I like that one a lot. Elsewhere, the NFL games that I think are somewhat intriguing. I'm curious to see what the New Orleans Saints look like. Everybody seems to be enthusiastic about their turn of events. Green Bay without Rodgers going to Soldier Field. He owned the Bears for so many years, and the Bears are favored in a game against the Packers. They're a 1-point favorite today at 325. That game will be on Fox, which I don't get at home because I have AT&T Uverse. So, I've kind of had enough of that, quite honestly. The Spectrum and the ESPN, I know everyone's harping on that, but I don't hear enough people talking about the whole Nexstar DirecTV Uverse thing going on. I mean, I can't get Fox 2 in my house. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What other games do we like today? I think that's maybe Miami Chargers. That's going to be a high-scoring game today at 3:25. Sunday night game, Dallas and the Giants should be good, but I love this game tomorrow night. Monday Night Football should be the best game of the week, and it is. Buffalo at the Jets. Joe Buck will have the call of the Bills and the Jets with Aaron Rodgers showing off his new Jets jersey in a regular season game for the first time. College football yesterday. Game of the day was Alabama and Texas, and Bama losing it is one part of the story. And I know that Tide fans are going to be up in arms about this team now and trying to figure out what the heck's going on and will they be a national championship contender again. They will be. They'll be ready for the SEC schedule. Don't worry about it. Bama will be just fine. They have Nick Saban as their coach. They're going to – South Florida's next. I feel sorry for them. That game's on Saturday afternoon. Then they're going to host Ole Miss. They'll handle that game. They'll beat Lane Kiffin and Mississippi. They go to Mississippi State and A&M. Both road games, never easy in the SEC, but I still think he's got a beef with Jimbo Fisher, and I do think that A&M is just not good. I mean, they got trounced yesterday by Miami. Their defense isn't close to what it used to be. They hired Bobby Petrino to be their offensive coordinator. A lot of attention on the offense with the Aggies, and the defense was horrendous yesterday. Those are the next games for Bama before they host Arkansas and Tennessee, then take a bye week before LSU. Then they go to Kentucky, they host Chattanooga, and they go to Auburn, which is not quite up to their level yet for the Iron Bowl. Always a great game, but Bama should be the better team there. I think Bama's just fine. I think they've got a lot of tough games ahead of them. But the real story is that Texas is back. Texas is back. Steve Sarkisian takes his team into Tuscaloosa and wins the ball game 34-24. Other big game yesterday was Colorado against Nebraska. Nebraska is not back. Nebraska was hoping that Matt Rule would get them at least to a respectable position where they can have some hope, and they have now started the season 0-2. They went to Minnesota and lost in the Big Ten opener, and they got slaughtered yesterday by Colorado. Coach Prime has the Buffs playing great. They've got swagger. They have edge. They continue to be told by Sanders that nobody respects them, which is not true. I think everybody is enamored with Colorado, but he's going to tell them that no one believes in them. Place was sold out. It was rocking, and they absolutely destroyed Nebraska yesterday, 36-14. Shedeur Sanders, their quarterback, is going to get all the Heisman attention, but I'm telling you, that Travis Hunter, who plays DB and wide receiver for Colorado, who he brought over from Jackson State, is the best player in the country. He is, you can't take your eyes off of him. He is unbelievable. And at some point, he will win a Heisman, whether that's this year or the next. But Colorado is here to stay. And I hope Deion is there to stay and doesn't go elsewhere. I hope that he continues to build something at Colorado, because those folks in Boulder have been waiting a long time. That's the biggest crowd they've had there in 2 decades, without a doubt. When we come back, we're going to hear about soccer. We had a match last night. The United States men's national team played Uzbekistan and won. And City plays tonight against the LA Galaxy. For that and more, we will catch up with one of the great soccer analysts in this town, Ty Keogh, visiting with our Jennifer Cease. Don't miss that. John Mozeliak along with us at 11:30 on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
If you have a commercial or industrial flat roof and are in need of repairs, a coating, or a new roof, there's only one company to call. The Flat Roof Company. 314-995-2700. The Flat Roof Company. 314-995-2700.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. When you've been injured, you only get one chance in court. one chance to protect your family and future. You need the firepower to do it right the first time. At Underlaw, we understand what's on the line, that the outcome of your case can impact your life for years to come. If you're facing a legal battle, don't leave your future to chance.
Underlaw Personal Injury Lawyers. Call 314 or 618-900,000 to learn more.
Andrea, what are you doing up there on the Best Buy flooring sign?
Scott, I'm letting contractors know that we have the best flooring.
Come down from there because they need to come in and see our huge selection of carpet, carpet tile, luxury vinyl plank, luxury vinyl tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, and ceramic tile in person.
Yes, we will not be undersold. Come see us at our 2 locations, 7301 North Lindbergh Boulevard in Hazelwood, Missouri, and 1851 West US Highway 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week. Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
Now, Y98 presents 90 and 60, a look back at the St. Louis City match against Sporting KC. Presented by Ponce Health Sciences University, creating new pathways and careers in healthcare.
Now City launching a hot air balloon downfield for Sam Adeniran. Catches up with it at the top of the 18. Adeniran, left foot up, into the side shelf. City leads. Second one now down the left side. Shallowy across, and it's flushed home. Sporting Kansas City has tied the game 1-1. Down the right side, Davis, after they swung fields, fights through the defense. He goes, it crosses in the spot. It's Polito who flushes it. Sporting Kansas City 2, St. Louis City SC 1.
This has been 90 and 60, presented by Ponce Health Sciences University. Up next, St. Louis City heads west to face LA Galaxy Sunday night. Together Credit Union pregame show at 6:30. Kick at 7 on Y98 St. Louis.
Aspiring to be a doctor? Didn't score well on the MCAT? Gain all the confidence you need to succeed at Ponce Health Sciences University. PHSU west of City Park on the corner of Jefferson and Market prepares students for every aspect of a medical career. A Master of Sciences in Medical Science degree. An MSMS from Ponce prepares students for the coursework, the time commitment, and the rigor for a future in healthcare. Learn more at stlouis.psm.edu. That's stlouis.psm.edu.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Every week at this time, Sunday at 11:15, we are joined by the sporting director of St. Louis City SC, Lutz Pfannenstiel. He is on assignment today as they are visiting LA Galaxy tonight. 7 o'clock is Vantage Credit Union game time on Y98 FM. For right now, we turn our soccer coverage over, and with a special guest, here is Jennifer Cease.
Joined now by Ty Keel, former soccer player, current soccer broadcaster with so many bullets, was a SLU Billiken, played in the NASL, St. Louis Steamers, and now U.S. men's national team alum. Ty, thanks for your time.
Great to be with you, Jen. It's an exciting time here in St. Louis.
The U.S. men's national team came to town over Labor Day weekend, practicing and used St. Louis City's facilities, and something special really happened with the alumni.
It's really fantastic when U.S. soccer comes here with the U.S. men's national team and really wants to be a part of that history that is here and is so strong. It is soccer's first capital in the United States. Dave Lang told me it's upwards of 80 St. Louisans have played on the U.S. men's national team. We went to the practice and they basically took a small break at the beginning of their practice to come over and meet the old St. Louis guys, which I'm one of them, and present us with a very nice memento, which really establishes the connection of what went before, all the history that is here in St. Louis.
What was the memento?
Well, they gave us a coin, and they are also giving us jerseys with a number. Only about 800 guys nationwide in the United States have ever played since 1916 on the U.S. men's national team. So each guy has a number which corresponds with what order they appeared. Steve Petcher's a teammate of mine. His is 330. Mine is 360 because I joined the national team roughly 2.5 years after he did. So I was the 360th player in the United States to ever represent our country since 1916. 1916 when the U.S. Soccer Federation was established.
I thought it was great for Greg Berhalter and Tim Ream to talk between the alumni and the players that are currently on the team and really draw that line. One day, being an alum is in their future.
Well, that's part of the tradition and the history and the great feelings that you have about being a part of something that is so big. Hey, do we get a kick out of seeing Tim Ream still out there doing the job as a center back for the U.S. men's national team at St. Louis? And we see Josh Sargent also appear in the most recent World Cup. So there's still St. Louis guys stepping right in there.
And like drawing that line between the younger and the older of what this means, and to see that line when you grew up, Ty, in a day where it wasn't always easily seen.
Well, for me, it was. My dad was on the U.S. men's national team, and he was a part of that famous team that went to the World Cup in 1950 with 5 St. Louis players in the lineup and defeated England, which is still possibly the biggest soccer upset in world soccer history. I grew up around guys like Pat McBride, Carl Gentili, Al Trost. These guys are National Soccer Hall of Famers. They were professional players. They have represented St. Louis, and we're very proud to wear the U.S. men's national team jersey. So I'm kind of soaked in all of that history and pride and just the honor that it is and get to wear that USA jersey.
Any youth in St. Louis can know that just 20 minutes or 30 minutes from me, the U.S. men's national team is practicing and playing.
Well, it's right here. We've got a fantastic facility in City Park, and of course the training facility that's right now. St. Louis is making that next stride. We waited a long time to have a Major League Soccer team. We have that now. We have a facility where the U.S. women's national team, the U.S. men's national team has appeared, and we've also had U.S. Open Cup matches. So it's St. Louis just going into a new era and getting back into the ability to be a true soccer capital and really show what we've done in the past and now translate it into the future. And certainly St. Louis City's success being at the top of the Western Conference is just a huge part of it. It creates so much energy and so much happiness for the soccer community.
I think it's pretty meaningful that the U.S. men's head coach, Greg Berhalter himself, stamped it for all time. He said that they regarded St. Louis as the soccer capital.
Greg Berhalter knew it as a player himself. He played with and against many St. Louis players on the way up because really St. Louis for decades have won championships at the youth soccer level, the junior soccer level. St. Louis University with 10 NCAA Division I championships. SIU Edwardsville with 1 Division I NCAA championship. UMSL won an NCAA Division II championship. Hundreds of guys have gotten college scholarships and played all over the country because the recruiters would come to St. Louis to find players because they knew it was a hotbed and a true soccer capital.
I appreciate it, Jen. Thanks very much. With Ty Keogh, we have City Soccer tonight. City and the LA Galaxy at 7 o'clock. That's Vantage Credit Union game time on Y98 FM. 6-point lead for City in the MLS's Western Conference. They have that lead over Seattle, 7 points over LAFC, who's going to be here on September 20th, a week from Wednesday. But LA Galaxy is the matchup tonight, and although they are bringing up the rear, second worst team in the West, I've been told over and over now by Lutz, by Bradley Carnell, the head coach, that this is a team to watch out for. They're actually starting to come together. They're playing a lot better. City will try to find a way tonight on Y98. Someone who got the job done yesterday was Coco Gauff. She claimed her first Grand Slam title, defeating Aryna Sabalenka at the U.S. Open, Arthur Ashe Stadium, 23,000 people in Queens. She is 19 years old, Coco Gauff. She overcame some setbacks early in the match and got the crowd on her side, and she became the first American teenager to win the country's major tennis tournament since Serena Williams back in 1999. After the match, Gauff spoke about the influence of Serena and her sister Venus.
Growing up, there wasn't too many just Black tennis players dominating the sport. It was literally, at that time when I was younger, it was just them that I can remember. And obviously more came because of their legacy. So it made the dream more believable. But all the things that they had to go through, they made it easier for someone like me to do this.
Coco Gauff winning her first Grand Slam title at age 19, a partisan crowd, the first American teenager, as I mentioned, to win the country's major tennis tournament. Gauff has burst onto the scene, but she's really been part of the conversation since she was 15 years old. She became the youngest qualifier in Wimbledon history that year. She has now stretched her winning streak to a career best 12 matches. And after the match, she said this.
I've just been embracing, every positive and negative thing that's said about me. I realize, sometimes people have different personalities, and some people need to shut off the comments and not look at them. But I'm an argumentative person.
Former President Barack Obama congratulated her on her title, and the messages quickly poured into social media. Obama and his wife Michelle were in Arthur Ashe Stadium on opening night, and when Goff rallied for victory before a tribute honoring Billie Jean King, President Joe Biden, both Obamas, King, former President Bill Clinton, among those praising Goff with messages. She said,
I felt like I was playing as good as I could in the moment. She's a tough power player, so it's just keeps you always playing on your back foot, honestly, against her. So I was just trying my best.
Coco Gauff defeats Aryna Sabalenka 2-6, 6-3, 6-2. She wins the U.S. Open, and at the age of 19, she's not the number one player in the world. That actually is going to go to Sabalenka, who, whether she won or lost, was going to get that honor for making the final. But there is no question that the face of women's tennis right now is 19-year-old American Coco Gauff. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll shift back to baseball. We'll hear from Cardinals President of Baseball Operations, John Mozeliak. The Cardinals are playing the Reds today. It's a 12:40 start. We have the pregame at 11:45, so we're going to be departing here right at 11:40 on Sports on a Sunday morning. Just to review, before we take a break and go to Mo, what we've done so far on the show. We talked to Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. He was live with us from Cincinnati. That happened at 10:15. You can go back to the Odyssey app or the KMOX Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast to listen to that. We chatted with Kevin Litt of UCP Heartland and our very special guest in studio, Andrew Price, about the Wing Ding that is coming to benefit UCP. That is Tuesday, September 12th, 5:30 at the Factory. The Wing Ding is the premier wing contest in St. Louis. They have 13 restaurants and 6 on the waiting list trying to jump in there in case, I don't know, somebody's truck doesn't start or something like that. But that's really exciting. A lot of great ones. You just go to, Kevin, what's the site again that you go to get tickets?
You just go to ucpheartland.org/wingding.
ucpheartland.org/wingding. We visited with Kevin earlier in the show, and they've been hanging out as special guests with us in studio. We also had Chris Roseman of the St. Louis Sports Commission talking about another upcoming event. That's on the 23rd, Mizzou and Memphis at the Dome. And chiming in as a special mystery guest, Eli Drinkowitz jumped in on the conversation, the Mizzou coach himself. We asked him about the game at the Dome, the upcoming game against K-State, and what happened last night against Middle Tennessee State. They did win 23-19. They didn't look very good. At 10:30, Dan Reardon was with us just before that from the Ascension Charity Classic at Norwood Hills Country Club. Sports on a Sunday morning. Ty Keogh was along with us in the last segment, and John Mozeliak will be live next. It's 11:28. Sports on a Sunday morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Be the next legendary winner at Horseshoe St. Louis Casino. Enjoy thrilling action and bold bets from classic slot play and state-of-the-art video machines to all your favorite table games and high-limit action. Set along the Mississippi River in the heart of downtown, just a quick walk from the ballpark. Horseshoe St. Louis Casino, a Caesars Rewards destination. Legendary. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Can you imagine efficiency and productivity at an all-time high?
Everyone is happier.
And everything is cleaner.
You no longer have to think about all the junk that's in your way.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
You're incredibly good at what you do.
We're good at what we do, too.
Why not outsource the cleanup to us?
Put us in the game, Coach. Put us in the game.
We're industrial strength magicians.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Or visit 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones who have been here since 1926. Others try to copy the name, but cannot match the level of service. The red ribbon means 97 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you have the genuine, the original Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Call 314-781-5200.
I'm Jack Wagner, host of the show Otherworld, a podcast that tells stories of real people who experience something paranormal or unexplained. Before Otherworld, I wasn't even interested in the paranormal. That changed when I realized how many people are out there who have experienced something extraordinary and never told anyone about it. I started this show to take a grounded approach to the paranormal, help people tell their stories in their own words, and encourage more people to come forward with their own. Listen to Otherworld now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win. Billikens win.
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
It's 11:31 with our dear friend Andrew Price from UCP, United Cerebral Palsy. I'm Tom Ackerman. Great to have Andrew in studio with us. We are online and on the radio. Before we get to John Mozeliak, I should mention the 5th annual Night of Champions Gala last night with Kyle McClellan. I was honored to kick things off and be the host last night. Rennie Knott of KSDK alongside raised about $250,000 last night for Brace for Impact 46, benefiting not only those great kids in Haiti and everyone who is having a tough time in that country, but building homes and improving life in North St. Louis. They do such a great job. We were joined by Chris Kerber, the voice of the Blues, former NBA player, St. Louisan Jahidi White, former Cardinals Bo Hart, Ray Lankford, Benji Molina, who is former Cardinals coach and world champion and also a Cardinals broadcaster, Scott Spezio, and Trevor Rosenthal, who I had a great chat with after the event last night. It was fun to see all of them. We had a really, really good night. So thanks to everybody for joining us at the Four Seasons. Let's turn our attention to John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations. Mo, good morning. It was also a very nice outing for the Cardinals yesterday.
Yeah, playing a little better baseball right now. So that's nice to see. Obviously, it's a very challenging road trip, but so far so good. To take the first 2 series has been impressive.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, going to Atlanta, who saw that coming except, the Cardinals offense is there. I mean, I think that might be one of the challenges that you have this offseason, Mo. Would I be correct in saying that? Is that you want to improve the pitching, but not at the expense necessarily of your great offense, which you do have going right now.
Yeah, that would be the hope. I feel like the last 6 weeks, meaning the remainder of this season and what we've been experiencing the last 3 is it's good to be able to push some players that normally may have not have gotten this opportunity. So watching Thompson be able to pitch and just really giving some of these younger guys a chance is hopefully something we can learn from and allow us to understand really what we have going into 2024.
Hells on the back end last night, and not to leave out the rest of your bullpen, but they were all good. Lawrence, King, Gallegos, but Ryan Helsley pitching back-to-back nights. He threw 11 pitches the day before, so he was ready to go. But, man, Blazes went in there at 102. What can we take out of that?
Well, I think the most important thing for him is understanding, how to remain healthy. And, from a performance standpoint, I think everybody would agree he's got incredible stuff. But, when you miss 2.5 months of a season, it can really put a lot of unneeded pressure on other places. So it was great to see. It's good to see. And, hopefully he can finish this season strong, have a normal off season, and be somebody we can count on for 2024.
Zach Thompson gave you 5 solid innings before that bullpen took over and beat the Reds, who were scraping and clawing for a playoff spot, and you kept them at bay. Before that, you took the Braves. I mean, they scored themselves, but kind of took them to the woodshed there the first 2 games. I mean, that was a very impressive performance by your club offensively. And then you get the Reds and the Orioles upcoming. I know also, though, you have your eye on what's happening in the minor league system. You told me last week that you were going to head to Springfield. What did you observe with your AA team?
They're playing really well right now, which is great to see. The guys we've got in the trades are starting to, I think, get comfortable and feel good about where they are. So JC is a really impressive hitter. Really excited about him. I think the one thing, when you look at a modern day player, he gives you a lot of flexibility. He can play almost anywhere in the infield, can likely play the outfield if you needed him to, but most importantly, he looks really comfortable at the box.
Sounds familiar to me. Sounds like a Brendan Donovan type.
Yeah, I would say that. I think from, at his age and what he's accomplished as a hitter, you might even say, he has more upside offensively than even somebody like a Brendan Donovan. But, Donovan obviously has had a lot of success at the big leagues. So we're pretty excited about what we're seeing there.
Looking at that minor league system, some talent that pops out too. Somebody that I watched at spring training that I wanted to see how he handled the bat, because there's no doubt when he leaves the batter's box, he's unbelievable. And that's Victor Scott. What do you see out of him?
I'd say he's had a breakout year. To be able to do what he's doing at AA, the fact that he's has a chance to be an elite defender, definitely is a guy that's going to steal a lot of bases, but really exciting player. And he'll represent us in the fall league. And, he's someone that I think, when we look at spring training next year, he's going to be someone that probably ends up playing in the big leagues at some point in 2024.
I saw you elevated Sajaci to Memphis, and just looking at Memphis, what do you see, or just in general, Memphis and Springfield, what are you keeping an eye on here down the stretch?
Well, really now it's, as seasons start to wind down. So Peoria, for example, they'll play their last game today, and then they'll start the postseason this week. AA has one more week left and AAA 2. But really it's, at this point, you're just trying to make sure guys can finish healthy. As you know, this is a longer minor league season than normal, because most in the past minor league seasons would end right at Labor Day, and then we'd have the expanded rosters at the big leagues. But now with the limited roster spots at the big leagues, the minor leagues have to keep going a little bit longer, so you have the ability to still option players and bring healthy players or fresh players up when needed.
Mo, we just have a couple minutes left before we go to pregame. Something I meant to ask you last week that I saw Derek Gould write about was spring training and your facility, that you've decided to hold off a little bit on that renovation, which was going to be pretty extensive. Can you go into that a little bit if you would?
Sure. So we were hoping to have the buildings come down and begin the renovation back in April. We've hit some snags, we've hit some delays, and so now we're just going to have to redetermine what sort of next steps are. But I think it's going to look like for spring of 2024 is we'll be back in the old building, and so really there's a pause or delay on when future construction will begin. But for fans that are planning on coming to Jupiter in 2024, it should feel very normal and hopefully seamless. And then after 2024 spring training, hopefully then we can begin some renovations.
We have booked our condo for spring training, so that's good. We are in place and ready to go. We look forward to 2024, but seeing if the Cardinals can finish strong here and continue to give the fans a little bit of hope for what's to come. I know there's a lot of work to do between now and then. I really appreciate this. Always great to have you on KMOX, Mo. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Have a great day.
You too. John Mozeliak, Cardinals president of baseball operations, just before we take you to Cardinal baseball at 11:40. The Cardinals and the Reds today at 12:40. 11:45 is when Joe Pott will have our pregame. We've had a lot going on the show. I probably missed a sport or two, but it's just hard to squeeze everything in. I know NASCAR running in Kansas and all the things that are happening around town. It's a lot. And, Drew, you may have a point there. I mean, I ran that poll on Twitter last year, which is the best month for sports, or it was earlier this year, March, April, October, or other. And a lot of people chimed in and say, don't sleep on September. Might be right. This is a great time of year. You can go back to hear everything on our Odyssey app or check out the Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast page at KMOX.com. Cardinal baseball is next.
I don't want to wait.
You never want to wait.
Not when I'm